Hello, and welcome to another day of TA the Degen way. Well, it's been a little bit since we've done any videos or taken a look at anything, especially the Bitcoin, and taking a little break on the Bitcoin, looking at this macro forecast here. We kind of hit our time mark there, and letting things simmer down a little bit, but I want to do an update because I do see a couple little glimmers of hope. This is from June 15th here, last year. Here's our time mark, and this time cycle is, nothing that's set in stone or anything. It's just, something that tends to work out pretty decent. That got us this top. See the 50% mark there, got us this top. Come over here, here's your 50% mark. Here's your 75% mark. Same thing here, 50%, 75%. There's 50%, and this one, when it works, just probably keep using it, and lo and behold, we got red candles. But like I said, I do see some glimmers of hope for the Bitcoin, which is why I want to do an update on it. Here you can find forecasts like this on our TradingView ideas page. There's some pretty decent ones on there. This Tesla one was one of the better ones. You speak bad about Tesla, the Tesla boys, they, boy oh boy, they don't like that. Still heading down. I expect that to come up a little bit, but what I want to look at is Bitcoin, so let's hop right into the chart here. Here's the weekly chart, and let's see here. So, if we look at this VWAP here, we're getting a little bit of curl to the upside. Look at that curvature and this coming down here. What that's telling us is that these blue waves, which are just averages, it's two different averages, the light blue and the dark blue, and when they cross, they're, prints the dot or whatever. So the space between these, that's this yellow line is measuring. As this is moving towards the zero line, that means that these light blue and dark blue waves are gapping out farther. When they cross, that's when you get that red dot. And look at where this yellow line is when that red dot prints. It's crossing below the zero line. Look at where this green dot prints. It's right where this yellow line is crossing above the zero line. So this is showing you how far apart these two, we'll just call them RSIs, it's a little different, they're averages, but these two RSIs, how far they're gapped. These blue ones, this is an RSI, they're not RSIs, they're averages. But you can see that this is curling up. This money flow is still looking pretty decent. If we look back at our past top here, you can see at this top, the VWAP was below the zero line, wasn't really curling, didn't have that nice curve to it like this does. Look at this curve here. Here's some curvature to it. You can see it's starting to point up. Then if we look at this one, you can see the VWAP kind of did the same thing. It was below the zero line, curled up, rejected off of it. And it is, given that little curl up over here, well, it just chopped along, which is kind of what we're doing. My original expectation, which, may or may not still play out, would be to come back to something like a 50 to 55,000. If we just pull some percentages with the fib tool from this swing low right there, our last low, to where we're at now, that's the 50% mark, so that's the median or the average for this move. But, there she is right there. But, right here. So time-wise, we should be looking for a reversal in this little time period here. And you can see that it, you know, it is curling up a little bit. Here, this is curling up. Money flow is still moving to the upside in the weekly. Come on down to the daily. Well, here, let's do another thing here. We need our trend curve. That's what I don't see. So let's get our. I mean, we haven't even broken trend. You know. Let's grab our curve. I prefer the curve trend much more than the straight line trend. If you walk out your front door and look at anything that exists naturally, you won't see a straight line anywhere. I mean, everything has some curvature to it. You know, this is the true momentum right there. And it hasn't broke. I mean, it's bouncing off of it. You know, I mean, that's technically pretty dang bullish. I mean, if we look at this range here, pretty much right in the middle. We're kind of at a make it break it spot price action wise. I mean, this has got some big wicks both sides. I mean, it's pretty well balanced. You know, this is distribution. I mean, no doubt about it. But I mean, are we reaccumulating and outweighing that distribution and absorbing it? Maybe. You know, there's some hope right there on the weekly. We haven't broken momentum yet, or our trend. Kind of bouncing off of it. Let's look at our actual local trend, you know, higher high or lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. I mean, here you can see, you know, we had a 3-week downtrend there, but yeah, we've broke about that. So we've broke the weekly downtrend, and let's go down to the daily. Well, let's look at the 3-day. 3-day is coming up to the 0 line there, you know. I mean, it is kind of that make it or break it. It's right dead smack in the middle of that range. We'll pull out the volume profile on the daily. It's likely the point of control right there. Well, here, let's look at these waves here. I mean, this oscillator, I mean, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the levels. It's more, I mean, the curvature in this thing. You know, this is a pretty version of the price action. You know, look at this right here. This right here. You know, and then now we're moving to the upside. I mean, there could be a little bit of life left in there. Come on down to the daily. Nice big anchor wave down there, I believe they call it. Look at this curvature coming down. You know, I mean, this would be culminating right kind of in about this area here. Lost our daily here. There we go. So let's look at this wave here, you know, like where it's building momentum, it reaches peak, come down, bottom. Got this little trigger wave there on the bottom side, little 2-wave little thing there. No real curved bottom. But I mean, if we just kind of pre-paint her in there, it gets us about right to where momentum peaks. But look at this top side momentum, you know, and this losing momentum. Somewhere in this little area here, you know, is where we should be expecting, you know, a change. And if we look, oh darn it, if we look at the bottom of these 2 little waves here, you know, we could maybe see something there. I don't like this money flow. I mean, I do like how it curved back up, but I mean, it is trending to the downside, and I don't really care for the price action on the daily. This does not look good. You know, if you look at this trend, and I mean the curvature coming up, I mean this is, I mean, looking to culminate here. So I mean you're in the upper, if you think about this like a bell curve, I mean you're in the upper section here. I mean there's no reason you can't start jogging across this thing and coming on down. But I mean it is holding, and if we look at this range, when I say make it or break it, let's see here. Oh, what are we doing here? Wrong one. Let's see. Lose a little background here. There we go. Let's grab our volume profile tool and let's take a look at the volume. Yeah, you know, that's right at the point of control. I mean, if we reject there, you know, I mean, that's not very good. You know, we might finally break this trend here and, you know, maybe need to come down and get some liquid and, you know, maybe reaccumulate. Maybe it continues on. And for downside, we got this nice little, here's our last support resistance flip right there that has been untested at about $53,500. Here's our last real local swing low. So we grab our retrace tool and we want to flip it over. We want to know how, you know, how much of this move has retraced. How many percent? Is it 30%? Did we lose? Did we lose 50%? Did we lose 61.8% of this move up? So you want these numbers going down. Reverse that. You know, and if you think about the median retrace, that'd be right there. 382 right there. So I mean that's certainly still on the table if it rejects here. And even if it rejects here, I'd still be looking at this value area low to you know, a lot of times, I mean, this nice D shape. Look at this nice D shape profile, nice and perfectly balanced. You know, so even a rejection here, I mean, you could still catch and bounce and go. And if it goes, I mean, we're in price discovery mode, so we would take this range, get this low to this high, and let's expand this out proportionally. And you know, the 1.5, 1.618 golden area, you know, is kind of right up in this $80,000 to $85,000 area. I mean, that'd be nice. Just looking at these waves coming down, I mean, this is kind of where it could culminate. So I mean, there's a chance, but this price action right here is no joke. I mean, it's probably easier to see it flipped upside down. If we just delete everything and we take this chart and you look at this pattern right here, if you were looking at this run up and the curvature of this run up right here, you know, I mean, you're pretty darn close to square there. And you know, then you had, you know, double top, pull back and retest, and, you know, reject, and I bet you're set up for about a perfect ABC there. We could look at a measured move there real quick. And the reason to look at all these things, what you're looking for is you're looking for why TA, when you're looking in the rear view mirror, even works at all. I mean, I could go in the rear view mirror and I could analyze the snot out of this right here and say, you know, I'm like, oh man, I mean, I got to do this every time because it's going to work. When really you could have done 15 forms of technical analysis and came up with 15 different answers. They all can't be true at the same time, but they were all possible. You know, you're looking for that proportional arrangement or that proportional relationship because for whatever reason, you know, there's a natural phenomenon that's just the way that things tend to balance out, you know. So there's your measured move right there. Also kind of aligning with that little area down there. So, I mean, if we lose this curve, and this price action plays out poorly, which, I mean, the price action doesn't look good. The oscillator's got a little promise to it on the weekly. You know, starting to curl up. That daily, you know, you got that wave down there. I mean, if we look, I mean, look at this one here. You get this pullback. You got this little wave right here. You got this bigger wave, and then, you know, we got some upside here. I mean, it's not the same here, but I mean, it's not too much different. You know, you got this smaller wave, you got this bigger wave, trigger wave, run. But I mean, this isn't happening at a macro top that you've just barely dipped above. I mean, like, look at this right here. I mean, we just barely broke above that and just busted below and retesting the bottom side with a double top, you know, at the peak point of momentum in the curve, where at any time it could start jogging sideways. I mean, that's not a very good evaluation, but I mean, we haven't broke trend. If, you know, especially if it breaks above this point of control. If it can pull up here, come back down and retest this, and you get a bullish bar there, I mean, this thing is bound to continue, you know. And with these oscillators, I mean, this is just a pretty version of what's on the price chart already. Because what do you see here? I mean, these are averages. It's smoothing out this part of the price action and changing it into this. So, I mean, if you look at this, what's going on here? You know, just coming down, you got this curve, and look at your price action. You know. So, I mean, here's your time-based reversal point, you know, kind of right in that generalized area there, you know. I mean, which, I mean, it's not an exact science, you know. I mean, it could just break right on through there anytime it wants, but I mean, this would be standard. So, I mean, I'm still, I mean, that price action to me says just let it dump. I mean, here, let's take it and flip it over. Invert. There. I think this makes it look a little easier to see, in all seriousness, because we all see through the filter of long trades, you know. So here, what are we looking for reversal signals? I mean, look at this. Here. Huh. Looks like it should be about ready to bust right on out of there, don't it? Boom. You'd be looking for this right here and be happy as a heart attack if it happened in reverse. I mean, that's what gets me about the price action. I'm not looking for this. That's retarded. But I mean, that's what gets me about the price action. I mean, you can just see it. You know, I mean, you got a nice perfect saucer. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, it's bullish right there, boy. I mean, you just think about this right here. I was analyzing this upside down. Looks a lot easier, in all seriousness, for a pause or a pullback. We gotta lose a little background sound there. There we go. I mean, if we just take a look at it from here. So there's our last swing right there. We'd be looking at exactly that same spot. Let's go up one more. Well, here's another one. This here was a weird little chunk of the move, but this is a piece all in and of itself. So there's another 50% mark right there. So that'd be the median from there to there. Take the whole swing here. You know, this double top. You know, there's the 50% mark right there. Even if you came back to the 382, you're still looking at 48,000. And I mean, this is one of my A+ setups, man. I mean, on small time frames, here it is, right here. The top of the price action curls like this. Okay, this is the reversal. What am I looking for if I see this? I am looking for a 38.2 retrace. I mean, really a 50% retrace, but I mean, I'm happy getting to this 382. Or if the price action is doing this on the lows, like where's an example right here? Look at this right here. Boom. This nice curve. You know, it culminates right here. And what am I looking for? I'm going to take this last, you know, significant trend high right here and pull a percentage on that, and I expect it to come back to at least the 382, which I bet is right there. I mean, it happens probably every single time. You know, look at this right here. This curve and price action. You're looking for that, and then you're looking for bullish price action to come out of there. You know, a break of structure. I mean, break a trend, break of something. It maybe it's bullish divergence on the oscillator. Something that says that yes, I mean, this is going to do something, and then look, go from this low, this last high. I don't know why live bots is on, but whatever. There we go. But go to this high, and where did price come back to? The median, or the median, the average, the 50%. It you know, your friend, right there. That's your friend. Time-wise, this is your friend. I mean, price might not be way up here, but in this time frame, I mean, if something hasn't reversed by the time it gets there, it's going to, because you are that many deviations from the 0 point, you know. I mean, it's just gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. So I mean, when you look at this whole run up in reverse, you know, I mean, you got a major reversal signal. You're at the apex of the curve. Time and price are square. You got a double bottom. I mean, you even got a break of structure. Oh boy, a pullback, let her rip. You know, I mean, to the 382 at least. But I mean, it hasn't happened yet. But that price action, that's what I mean about the price action. It just doesn't. It doesn't look good. This does not look good. But at the same time, I mean, the weekly looks all right. You know, I mean, it's kind of curling up a little bit. The daily looks the same on the oscillator as every other time. And here you got these two. You know, these two right there. Those two right there. Same thing back here. You got these two little bump ups right there. There's three, you know, then you get a big pump after that, but it's also not right at a potential reversal point. So I mean, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, you know. So I mean, you really gotta watch what happens right at the exact price level that it is at now, because let's come down. Let's take a look at the waves on the 4 hour. And the level here for, I mean, a macro, I mean, pause slash pullback, I mean, is this, you know, I mean, that's nothing abnormal. The 20-30% pullback, I mean, it happens over and over and over and over again. But the thing is if you get a 20 to 30% pullback right here, you're going to break that momentum curve. You're going to break that trend. And that usually signals the end of a large move, you know, so that's not good either. So if we look at this right here, let's look at these waves in the 4 hour. I mean, the waves in the 4 hour I don't really like that much either. You know, we're already topped out here, and look at this right here. Where would you expect this to be topping? Right in there. And what are we getting right here? Ugh, gosh, it just... I want this momentum curve to hold and this price to go up, but it just, you know, and the higher time frame signals are still signaling, you know, there's some possible juice in there, but I just don't think it's there. I don't think it's there. It has a chance. There's a glimmer of hope for not getting a larger pullback, and I'm afraid that if we get this pullback at this point in our run, you know, I mean, when price comes up like this and gets a 20-30% pullback, who cares? You know, it does this, it pumps, gets a 20-30% pullback, nobody cares. You know, it does this, it pumps, it gets a 20-30% pullback. Oh boy. You know, and then now, I mean, you're in this part of, you know, wrecked city out here, and price, it doesn't retrace all the way. I mean, you know, it's skewed distribution. You know, something like this, it would be more realistic. You know, you can take your curve and flip it this way. You know, I mean, there you go. Looks like a dog or something. But this just does not look like good price action. And when you're looking at the 4 hour here, you're looking at the curvature of that coming up. And then, yeah, now here on the hourly, let's look right here. See, so now look at this wave coming up. Even this wave looks like it's over right at this point of control. We know it's at the point of control already. Let's pull that up. I mean, I think this move is over, in all seriousness, and we just need a good 20-30% pullback. And I'm also afraid that that 20-30% pullback is not going to lead to a higher high very quickly, but rather a long, drawn-out reaccumulation range. So, I mean, if you look at even this move right here, it's curling up, and you can see that time and price are square. So, I mean, it just looks like it's going to reject. Well, that's all I got on the Bitcoin. So, I mean, if you like this kind of content, just like, share, subscribe. Link to the Discord in the description. But until next time, trade well.